Hey guys, welcome back. Check out this video by Leila Hormozi.
The biggest thing that was instilled in me was making sure that Alex and I had clarity on our roles. Alex is marketing, Layla is everything else. Did Layla know how to do everything else? Absolutely not. I remember a mentor saying that. He was like, do not help Layla. She can figure this out. You trying to help her when neither of you know how to do this is only showing her that you don't think she can do it. I see so many business owners now, especially married, and the husband doesn't realize that he's undermining the wife by overly inserting himself to help her. I'm so glad that Alex has literally never done that to me. He has only ever supported and encouraged me and said, you can do this. That was a key piece that I think is so underestimated. One of the first things I do with companies is I help clarify their roles. They don't know how important it is.
All right, Kirby, what do you think on this? You and your wife are a great team effort, so I'm sure you got a lot of thoughts.
The thing I want to point out the most is this is the downfall of a lot of small businesses or couples that get into business together. What she just said is the inverse of that is well, what she said is huge first. The inverse of that, I see it all the time. I see when it comes to investing, it's always for the most part it's the husband figuring, oh, I have to do everything. And I always ask the question, why don't you have your wife do it? The husband working 12, 15 hours or whatever, and then they got this going on or that going on. And then I'm like, why don't you let your wife learn how to invest? They figure they have to do everything. And then the whole family is depending on the actions that you make. But the reality of it is sooner or later, you ain't gonna be here. And then you just, I guess, expect them to just figure it out once you're dead and gone, or you think you got it all set up. And a guy came to me a long time ago. Well, not a long time ago. It's maybe 10 years ago, and he asked a question that I didn't have the answer to, and it was a hallmark of everything for me. It was I'm sitting here at my desk. He came in. He was doing a remodel, and then he was wondering like, how the hell do you make money? Because of course I was way younger than I am now, and I just explained it to him, and then he said, "Okay, do your wife know how to do this also?" And I said, "No." And then he said, "What happens if something happens to you? What do your wife do then?" And I didn't have the answer. And I didn't have the answer because I just thought I had to do it. And then the true reality of it is I was messing up what my family. I'm messing up if something happened to me because, of course, I'm a wild child. I do all the things that could probably get me killed, and I will screw my family over because I'm doing everything. And then from that moment on, I always made sure that, my wife understood what was going on. My wife knew how to do what I did, but breaking down roles is very huge in what we do now. I mean, me, I'm all about going out there, acquiring, looking for a deal. My wife does everything else. If she needs me to negotiate something or need me to talk to somebody about a certain issue that she finds, then I do that. But besides that, it's I don't go in there telling her how to do her side of it. Some things we collaborate on, but that is the hallmark of it. I mean, Alex, I talk to you and I always tell you, Alex, why are you doing all that? Why don't you have your wife do it? You know, why don't you do that? Because you or one person controlling everything, and I see it all the time when I'm talking to families and the father passed away in the family, and then the wife is just sitting there looking like, I don't know, I never had to do anything. He took care of all this, and they're just lost. It's because there's no defined roles. It's just, oh, the husband does everything, and then I just sit here and just like a bump on the log. You didn't marry the person because they didn't know anything, or they was just a dummy. You marry them for unique qualities. Use the qualities that they have to make the family grow, and the family is well sustained with or without you being there. So I love the fact that she brought up defined roles because defined roles is a huge part in a business relationship. As long, I mean, especially when it's dealing with spouse and family.
Yeah, this is definitely a good topic, and it's one I'm still putting into practice and trying to develop with my wife. We definitely have different roles, and there's things that she does that I don't do, and there's things I do that she doesn't necessarily do. Um, but little, I mean, we have had the conversation though. I mean, I've mentioned several times my wife sells health insurance, and she had brought up to me and said, you should get your license because if I pass, all my clients will be lost. But if you have your license, they can transfer it to you. And those are definitely things I think most people just don't think about. You get so wrapped up in what you're doing that you, like you said, you just think, oh, this is just my responsibility. You know, my family shouldn't have to worry about this. But I think if you can both come together and work on the same thing, and maybe your tasks are different than your wife's, but she still knows what you're doing, or her tasks are different than yours, but you still know what she's doing. And that's something that I've started to bring my wife into, with as far as like the real estate, how to manage tenants, or like if in the beginning when we were doing like remodel projects, um and we were going out there, I would bring her so she could see like what needed to be done, what things to look for. um and she's definitely shown that she's great at especially speaking to people and communicating with the contractors. I mean, as you know, that's definitely a key role in, explaining what you need done to a contractor. Um, and in the investing part, um, we've had those discussions, and especially, because once you build capital, you have to preserve it somehow. And, my wife understands, the S&P 500 is the safest bet, the most stable thing you can put your money into. If she's too busy wrapped up in something else, doesn't want to get all sophisticated and selling covered calls and selling covered puts, then, at least you know what investment to put your money into so that you don't fall into the trap of believing that you need someone to manage your money for you. So, there's things that we've definitely discussed and started to work together on. Now taxes. I knew, I think, more about taxes than she did, but now she's begun to take courses for taxes under her insurance agency that basically works and kind of like intertwines with it. Um, but she's starting to learn that, and then now going to get like licensed as a CPA. So now it's kind of coming together, fusing together. But I think it's definitely necessary because I've seen that too, and it's a huge risk because, like you said, once that one key figure passes away, everything is lost with them. And it's kind of like that dynasty of the family just dies. And I see that with some existing couples. I know of one where, the husband owns a pretty decent sized company. And if anything were to happen to him, I really question, is the rest of the family able to do exactly what he's doing? Because there's a lot that goes into it rather than just the operation of it, looking for deals, acquiring deals, running numbers, understanding the numbers. And if you put your faith in someone else that you don't really know, like your spouse, those people can screw you over. Those people can really take advantage of you for your lack of knowledge and get you into the wrong deal, or get you into a deal that only benefits them and doesn't necessarily benefit you. So it's crucial to know everything that you're involved with.
Yeah, no, I mean it's a good video that she put out, and it's something that's remiss and it's not talked about a lot in the family dynamic or in business dynamics as a whole, especially small businesses. It's defined roles is very key. I mean, we got a lot of things going on, and everything is a defined role. I don't go into my wife's business and be like, "Hey, you need to do this." I only show up at her business and be like, I know what she's doing, I know how she's doing it, but when I come to her side of the house, hey, do you need me to do anything? And then I do what she needs on her side of the house. I'm not coming there dictating nothing. I don't be like, oh, well, yeah, you should do this. The other thing I tell my wife how to do is how to drive, and she hated every minute of it. So besides that, I'm way out the way.
Yeah.
I'm way out the way. I know it's I'd rather have it that way than how it was before, where I was just responsible for everything, and that conversation I had with that gentleman, it really opened my eyes. And then I started, listening to more people, and then I'm seeing the breadwinner or the person who handled all the financial stuff, they pass, and then the other one that's left behind is in total flux. They don't know what's going on. They don't know how to do it, what to do. And then, as you say, and I've seen them be taken advantage of quote unquote financial advisors, taken advantage of by other family members that wasn't in the organic family, taking advantage. Friends tell them, "Oh, well, you deserve to do this. Just go do this. Just go do that." And then next thing you know, they got more time in their life than they got money left because they had no idea of how the money flowed or where the money came from or how to get more money or anything else like that. So this is again a great video by Layla, and I think this is a topic that need to be discussed more in households than not. And I'll leave it like that.
That said, guys, let us know if you and your spouse are a team effort. Don't forget to hit the like button, share this video, subscribe. We'll see you guys on the next one.